Well, the way to find out if this point is a solution or not, we plug it in. If you have a yes here and a yes here, that is a solution. So let's plug it in. X is 0. Is 3 times 0 plus 1, does that equal to 4? No. Once the first one fails, don't even waste your time on the second one. So the answer is no. Question number 2. When graphing the following systems, the following system, the two lines are blank. And option 1, A, parallel. Option 2, intersect at 2 points. I didn't give you the system yet. Option 3, intersect at 1 point. Option 4, the same. Option 5, or A, B, C, D, and E, are what? None. None of these. And let me give you the two equations, because I never gave you the equations. So here's my system. The first equation, y equals -2. The other one, x equals to -4. Now, if you graph these two, what does y equals to -2 looks like? This -1, -2. This is y equals to -2. What is x equals to -4? This is x equals to -4. So when you look at that, there's really two correct solutions there. I see one of them, this one, it says intersect at 1 point, which they do. I also see another one, which is what? Nope. I thought I saw perpendicular. I don't see perpendicular. I have parallel here. So that's the only one. So in this case, that's the only answer. If this was perpendicular, that'll be the correct answer.
Is it possible for a line to intersect at 2 points?
Nope. Straight line, no. So this will never happen. Let's just try to get you confused, Carl. That will never happen. A straight line will never intersect at 2 points. Now, if it's not a straight line, sure they can. Yeah, but not a straight line. So intersect at 1 point, and that'll be the correct answer. Now this one, I'm going to give you a system of equations here. And it says solve it. Or when graphing the following system, the two lines are, when graphing them, and I'll give you the options later, but the system is 3x minus 2y equals 10 and 20 minus 6x equals negative 4y. when graphing them. The truth is you don't have to graph them. You can find the answer without graphing them. But I'll go with the graph. Let me rewrite the two equations. I don't like the way they look in there. So this is, I'm happy with it. I got x and y on one side. Maybe I won't even graph it. Change of plan. Now, if I bring the negative 4y to this side and I take the 20 there, what are you going to have? Negative 6x plus 4y equals what? Negative 20. Change side, change sign. I really don't want to graph them because I can tell you the answer quicker without graphing them. And how? If you take the top equation, multiply it by what? 2. What's 2 times 3x? What's 2 times negative 2y? And what's 2 times 10? And when you add them, what do you have? 0 equals to 0. What does that mean? That's a true statement. And if it's true statement, what does that mean? The two lines are the same. So I didn't have to graph them just because it says when graphing them. It didn't say you have to graph them. It says if you were to graph these, what will happen? I can tell you the answer without graphing them. They'll be exactly the same. The same line. Solve. Y equals 4x minus 10 and 3x plus 5y equals 19. What do you think? What's a smart method to use here? Which one? Yep, substitution. I'm going to use substitution. They're already telling me what y is equal to. So plug it in. 3x plus 5 times. In place of y, let me put the value of y, which is what? 4x minus 10 3x plus 5 times 4 20x minus what? 50 equals 19. 23x minus 50 equals 19. Take the negative 50 to that side, becomes a plus 50. 23x equals 50 plus 19, which is what, 69? X will be what? I got to divide by 23 to make it a 1. Three, I mean. Right? If x is 3 now, can we find y? Y from the top equation is what? 4x minus 10. 4 times 3 minus the 10. What's 4 times 3? 12 minus 10, which is what? 2. And there's your answer. X is 3, y is 2. Maybe another one from chapter 4 before I go to chapter 5. By the way, if this was 0 equals to 3, It's a false statement. What would that mean? Go ahead. Instead of 0 equals to 0, that's the same line. If that was 0 equals to 3 or 5 equals 12, what does that mean? No solution, exactly, Jamie. Parallel lines, they'll never intersect. Correct. So if you get a false statement, it means there's no solution, the two lines will never intersect, and the only way that will happen if the two lines are parallel. Negative x plus 2y equals 11. 2x plus 4y equals 26. Now you can use any method to solve them. Here probably the smart method to use is what?
Y equals to 0 and x plus 2.
You mean graph them using
Y-intercept?
you could graph them, but the problem with graphing them is a lot of times you don't get the exact answer, especially if it's not a whole number, you know? So you'll be rounding there. So my other two options, usually substitution or elimination method. If you want to get the exact answer, one of those methods will give you the answer. Substitution, that means you got to solve for one of the variable and plug it in like the previous example. Here I can use the elimination method. I want to cancel some of the variables when I add them. Well, first, if I add them, nothing cancels. But if I take the top equation and multiply it by what? By 2. Let's see what will happen. You'll have what? Negative 2x, right? Plus 4y equals 22. The bottom one, leave it alone, will be what? 2x plus 4y equals what? 26. Let's add them. What's negative 2x plus 2x? Gone. What's 4y and 4y? 8y equals what? 48. To solve for y, we're going to divide by 8. Y equals what? 6. Now I got to solve for x. Grab either equation, it doesn't matter which one. I'll take the second one, no reason why I chose the second one. Two x plus 4 times 6 equals 26. What's 4 times 6? 24. Subtract 24 from both sides, or take the 24 to the other side. Two x equals what? 26 minus 24? 2. To solve for x, you divide by 2. X equals to what? 1. So your solution, again, always write x first, y second. Your solution is 1, 6. That was a few questions from chapter 4. Doing the elimination method, doing substitution, now let's look at chapter 5. We'll take a few questions from 5 because that's what the test is going to be on 4 and 5. Hey. Two x to the minus 1 to the minus 1. Okay, well, first let's distribute that minus 1. So this will be what? 2 to what power? Negative 1. X to what power? Try again. 1. Power to power, you multiply. Minus 1 times the minus 1 is 1. You multiply when it's power to power. That is over 1. And anytime you have negative exponent, we said if it's on the top, bring it down, cross the line, change the sign. That'll be x. I don't have to write the 1. And 2 to the power of 1. What is 2 to the 1? Just 2. Convert to decimal. I'm just mixing here. And the number is 2.4 times 10 to the negative 5. That's in scientific notation. We need to change that to a decimal value. That's a negative 5. So what do we do with the decimal point? 5 places to the left. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You gotta move it 5 places to the left. Any empty spot, you gotta put a 0 in it. So that'll be what? 0.000024. Evaluate 2x to the negative 3 minus 5 when x equals negative 2. So what do we do? Replace x with negative 2, right? Oh, that's a plus 3. I didn't mean it negative 3 here. 2x to the third. I know I was thinking about a negative number. So 2x to the third minus 5 when x is negative 2. 2 times negative 2 to the third minus the 5. Bless you. Order of operations. What is it? PEMDA, parentheses first, exponent second. I have an exponent here. Negative 2 cubed. That's negative 2 times the negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 8. Then we do the multiplication next. What's 2 times the negative 8? Negative 16 minus the 5, which is what? Negative 21. Subtract. Two x plus 4 minus x squared minus x squared minus 2x minus 4. The first one, I don't need the parentheses. I got a minus sign in the front. It's going to change all the signs on the inside. That will make it what? Negative x squared plus 2x plus the 4. Let's look for like terms. These two are like terms. These two are like terms. And these numbers are like terms. So what's negative x squared minus x squared? 2x squared. What is 2x plus 2x? Plus 4x. What's plus 4 plus 4? Plus 8. I don't know what number was that, 8, 9, 9. We'll do 10 here. Two minus 5 to the 0 power. Do what's inside the parentheses first. So that's what? Negative 3 to the 0, which is what? 1. Simplify. Three x squared y, the whole thing squared. Try again. You gotta square the 3 first. That's 3 squared. X to what power? 4. Y to what power? 2. And again, you always want to take that number and simplify it. What is 3 squared? 9 x to the 4th y squared. Simplify. Negative 2x squared y times 3xy squared. What's negative 2 times 3? Negative 6x cubed. Yep. Y to what power? Try again. 3. When you multiply, you add the exponent. Yep. Multiply the numbers, add the exponents. Let's multiply that. 3 times 4, 12x to what power? 5. Yep, add the exponent. 3 times a minus 1, x to the 4th. And 3x squared times 1, multiply we're going to multiply these. What method we're going to use here? FOIL, very good. The FOIL method. What is 2x times 6x? 12x squared. What's 2x times 2y? 4xy. What's a negative y times 6x? And what's a negative y times 2y? And the only thing I see, these two are like terms. I can put them together. So that will be what? 12x squared. What's 4 minus 6? Negative 2xy minus 2y squared.
Did fine on this part. I just wasn't expecting to see half of the stuff on there.
On the last test?
Yeah.
Because it's chapters 4 and 5. I thought it was chapter 5 only. I forgot. I made the whole thing a long time ago. Divide. Everyone likes division. 20x to the 10th minus 15x to the 6th over 5x squared. Again, I can take this and break it down to two parts. What's 20 divided by 5? X to what power? When you divide, you subtract the exponent. 10 minus 2, which is what? 8. 15 divided by 5? 3x to what power? 6 minus 2, which is 4. Five minus 2x, the whole thing squared. This will be what? It's really 5 minus 2x times 5 minus 2x. There's a shortcut when, like, if you don't want to use the FOIL method, there's one that says if you have a minus b and you want to multiply it by itself, a minus b, the result is what? Square the first minus 2 times the first times the second plus the second one squared. The first one here is 5. So square the 5. That's 5 squared. 2 times the first, which is 5, the second, which is 2x, plus square the second one. 5 squared is what? 25. That's negative 2 times 5 times 2. That's 20, I think. 2 squared is 4x squared. Again, worst case scenario, you can use the FOIL method. This one again, you can break it down 3x plus 4. 3x plus 4. And again, we have a shortcut for this. It says a plus b times a plus b, square the first, plus, instead of a minus, plus 2 times the first times the second, and square the second one. Just like the one above it, the only difference, instead of a minus, we have a plus. So that'll be square the 3x plus 2 times 3x times the 4, and square the second one, which is the 4. Three squared is what? 9x squared. 2 times 3 times 4. What's 4 squared? And we always try to finish it with the division, the ones you like. So let's do one more. We have time to squeeze in one maybe. This I made it up myself. Now the one thing I notice about the top, I always like to write them in descending power. I have x cubed, but what happens to x squared and x? They're not there. So can I write that 8x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x minus the 1? I'm putting zeros. And the reason I like to put the zeros in them, when I divide, you're going to see I'm going to line up the x squared on top of the x squared, the x on top of x. It makes it easy to line them up. If you don't put the zeros, it's not wrong there, but sometimes people, they start putting x's under x squared, x cubed under x, and they lose it. So that's my thinking. So let's divide them. And the first thing I'm going to do is try to divide this one by this one. What is 8x to the third divided by 2x? 4x squared. So let's put 4x squared here. And what is 4x squared times 2x? 8x to the third. What is 4x squared times a negative 1? Negative 4x squared. Now you see why I put the zeros there, so you'll see this is x squared with that x squared. Instead of subtracting, I said to you there's an easier approach, which is what? Change all the signs and add them, right? So this becomes a minus, this becomes a plus. Gone. What is 0 plus 4x squared? And bring the rest of the problem down. There's the 0x and there's the minus 1. Now let's take this one and divide it by this one. What is 4x squared divided by 2x.
2x,
Positive 2x, right? You have to put a sign, plus or minus. Positive 2x. What's 2x times 2x? 4x squared. What's 2x times a minus 1? Minus 2x. Again, change the signs and add. This is plus, going to become a minus. This is minus, going to change to what? Plus. Gone. What is 0x plus 2x? And there's the minus 1. Let's continue. What is 2x divided by 2x? Plus 1, right? What's 1 times 2x? What's 1 times a minus 1? And now let's change the signs and add them. This becomes a minus. This becomes a plus. Gone, gone. Remainder is 0. So what is the answer when you divide 8x to the third minus 1 by 2x minus 1? The answer is 4x squared plus the 2x plus the 1. And this was question, I don't know, 18, 19, I can't remember. Somewhere in that neighborhood.